YouTube. As you know, I've been hanging about with Jen for ages now. Noticed that when she was doing photos, I take quite a lot of them of her guitars, she kind of puts on clothes that match the guitars. So I'm going for trying to be a bit grown up. So I've got the salmon trousers and the white sneakers, and then a check shirt. Does make it look a bit like Rory Gallagher, a bit more than usual, but hey. That's because I'm playing this, which is a Yamaha. If you get there, because it's black, you can't see that it's completely hollow. Although it does obviously have a centre block, otherwise it wouldn't be able to have a tunematic bridge, or it wouldn't be able to have a stop tail. Yeah, so kind of like a big flat Les Paul sort of thing. I'm not sure exactly if it's exactly a copy of anything. So as I say, it was an AEX 520, 5 series, and then 2, in this case, mini humbuckers. This is a good point, because I've got a few guitars kicking about with P90s in them. See how the mini humbuckers like this is obviously not the case with this guitar. This is a tribute to what the original, when they were using mini humbuckers. Basically, the mini humbuckers were left over when Gibson bought the Epiphone company, and they had, so what they did was they routed out, they had the guitars that were routed to take P90s, so they made like a P90 sized pickup ring that actually fits inside, which means that in this you can see, you know, that if you take that the whole thing, including the pickup ring out, you can just pop a P90 in, and vice versa. So if you've got a P90 Les Paul or something like that, you can just get the mini humbuckers with the rings and just swap them straight over. Bang. Mini humbuckers sit somewhere differently. That's why I'm playing clean, and I'm playing through the Fender vaporizer, because this really good for showing you exactly what the guitar sounds like. So I thought kind of jazz boxy thing. It's one of those guitars that you'd never judge it by what it looks like. It's a really lovely guitar to play, partly because it's a 500 series Yamaha, so obviously it's good, but it's not the sort of thing I would ever really gravitate towards. And instantly, the first thing this did when I got this in a few years ago, just thinking, oh, that's cheap, I'll buy that, I'll be able to, fix it and sell it. No, I get quite every now and again I pull it out. It's just like I've now put I didn't put expensive strings on it, but I put new strings on it, because as soon as it was one of the things I was thinking about, I kept trying different guitars with the super clean amp, or not clean, but the super that sound amp. But see, that's what mini humbuckers do. I mean, that amp's down low and it's clean. But if you thump it, you get this distortion-y thing going on so early on, it's ridiculous. So you need sod all gain, or you just push the amp. And obviously I've got the amp as low as it goes. It's got lots of output. Somewhere, I don't know, I was thinking of doing it, I couldn't be bothered to take too long, but doing a demo of all the different types of pickups, kind of starting, because you kind of get just one extreme to the other, really. There must just be a line that's just at the very thinnest end. You've got, I don't know, would you have like a Telecaster pickup? But single coil, and then at the other end you've got like I was going to use a DiMarzio super distortion in the neck, and then everything else is kind of somewhere in between them. I would say that this is somewhere between a P90 and a humbucker. It is actually a humbucker, because it's smaller. It's kind of sound-wise, it does behave. There are elements of this that behave like a P90 though. Probably the same. I don't think these would be very good for Metallica or Megadeth the same way like P90s probably wouldn't be. They kind of distort too early. You can't use tons of gain, but you can get tons of distortion just by hitting it harder or using very little gain. You're just not going to get your dun 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 dun. Well, obviously you can, but it's not what it's for. that's the thing that got me. It was just the fact that you could. This guitar immediately made me play chords. Why? Don't know. I'm not even sure where this one's made. In fact, I don't know what it says. Now, on the ones that's got the wee badge on the back there, it tells you. Yamaha. Oh, it's a Taiwanese one. That's second best to Japan, but that's quite a high-end one. But there's a whole range of these, and I don't know how often they change them round, but they seem to have been making them forever. I can't remember. For some reason, I think this is about a 2000 or something like that. But I think they kind of still make it, and obviously slight variations over the years. Maybe now it's got binding or different types of tuners or something, but ultimately the same thing. I seem to remember there being another one that's it's just a neck pickup for just jazz, just in case you were thinking I might play something other than jazz on it. No, just the neck pickup. I'm feeling it as something. Do you know what it's not unlike? In fact, this is the first I've ever really considered this. It's not unlike a Yamaha APX. But I mean, thinking about it now that it's made by Yamaha as well at the same time, and basically, I've actually got one. What did I do with it? I've got an APX kicking about. It's broken. An APX is thicker, but everything else about it's kind of similar. I suppose if you're going to make something that's I don't know, like we've already got the measurements. We did all that working out on how to make a really good neck for this guitar. What about that neck that we spent all that money on the AX system? Why don't we try that on the APX? Aye, good idea, that kind of thing. But it's a similar thing. It's just, again, it's like going between, you get like an acoustic, like a Dreadnought, and then you would get like a Stratocaster. The APX is in the middle there. Okay, it's closer. It's still an acoustic, but it's kind of getting towards electric guitar, whereas this is the next step in the journey after the APX to get to. It is an electric guitar, but because of the way it is, it's kind of, you would be able to do an acoustic gig using this, and then just having it mic'd up. I mean, it's kind of probably these were sort of designed. Well, when I say these, I don't mean the Yamaha 2000s version, but whether it's a copy of the Gretsch's and shit like that, I'd imagine there was probably an element of them at the very start, just wanting it to be a loud acoustic guitar that didn't feed back. And it's kind of, okay, it's not an acoustic guitar, but you can get the same similar tombers or just a sort of variation, and it's like it can be used for the same thing but louder. But this is a serious guitar. But I mean, I think, okay, I got this a while ago, 10 years ago, but these are always going to be kicking about, and it's like you can be looking up for, it's like now everyone's kind of catching on to the Japanese thing and trying to find the best quality guitars. Basically be looking at Yamahas in the sort of mid-90s onwards. You might not get, I mean, it's if you're looking at, like for a Stratocaster type thing, you're going to go, it's a Pacifica, which I get. And if in this range, I don't know if you're into, I'm going to say it's a sort of Gretsch or some sort of Gibson, sort of, I don't think it's necessarily a jazz box, but it's kind of going there. Sort of thing if you're wearing like salmon pink trousers. I couldn't grow a beard quickly enough, I only thought about it earlier on. And I was interested, people like got the 3 Temu distortion pedals sitting there on top, on and ready to go, and I actually like the crunch one. A few folks said they like the purple one, and it's like the purple one to me is, well, it actually says US mode on it, so it's, for me that's kind of more metal. And I suppose US more American sounding, maybe that's maybe why it's called that. Tube screamed. See, immediately we're sounding like I can't remember how you play it, but it does sound like it, doesn't it? So, I mean, if someone said, I want you to sound like a Gretsch White Falcon, this would probably be the guitar I would try it with. Yeah, it's like just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I could sit and play that all day. Actually, what I thought I was going to play was we're a wee bit. I need to use one of the other pedals for AC/DC, but that's kind of fundamentally a bit like Malcolm Young's Gretsch, really, isn't it? Okay, it's got a Filtertron, but I think a Filtertron's one of those ones which is in near the mini humbucker in the great DiMarzio Super Distortion to Telecaster pickup graph. I don't know whether it's more like a single. It's probably more like a. I don't know exactly where it sits. The blue one, which I do like. Can't sing and play that at the same time now. If you've never seen the video for AC/DC Jailbreak, check it out. But I mean, I'm loving these three wee. I know we're kind of off topic about the guitar. It's 15 minutes. Okay, I'll give up. Man, I think genuinely having those three pedals in the one enclosure is actually, the three of them are different enough to warrant, I think, having them. And I could see that it's like you're just like. With an amazing amp like this one, it doesn't have any controls on it or any distortion. It just gives you. Oh, it's almost like having three different amps that all sound like an amazing Fender. Didn't even have the reverb on. I never got to the point of actually what would you call that? Slowly strum things. even if you're not particularly, you know, I told you, to get one of these, if you see the chance of getting one, you're buying a second hand one, you can probably be clever with it, like we all are, where you look up and you buy one at the lower end of what they're worth. That's a bit dirty, you clean it up, and then you keep it for 6 months, and then you can sell it for the same as what you sold it for if you bought it correctly. But it just, if you're in a slump where you're playing, this, I mean, I'm just all over the place on this thing just now. It's like, it's like, oh my god, this sounds amazing when you slowly strum chords. Now I'm sitting there and going, I want to play this all afternoon, slowly strumming chords. And then a wee bit there when I thought, for some reason I had it in my head, it was like I got a wee bit of Neil Young, Buffalo Springfield in my head. So even, I mean, maybe sound-wise and stuff, yes, there is a difference. Maybe not a huge difference, but the inspiration is different. I feel, I even put on a different shirt, you know what I mean? It's like, what would it be like to play, not necessarily jazz or folk or just any other kind of music I don't normally play, but like being able to, it's like playing the bass as well, it's like being able to play country music does not ruin your ability to play heavy metal. It makes you better at playing heavy metal. It's just that you can play country music as well, sort of thing. You know, you don't unlearn things. You just get the choice of not having to do that. Oh, I wish you'd never learn how to play disco bass. And it's like, well, I've always been able to play disco bass. It's only my taste lapses a little bit and then I play it. I've got too much taste to play it all the time. I only play it when I'm playing the bass. Rock on, and boy is it hot. I'm looking forward to taking this shirt off. But have a wee look at the Yamaha weird guitars. Maybe it's maybe not one you just buy, or maybe if you buy it, if you see it really cheap, think you can fix it or something like that, or if it's in a pawn shop or something, have a wee shot and see. You might just go, it might be one of those things you pick up and go, oh, I don't like this. But I mean, for me, it wasn't. I already didn't like it. I thought it was shit. So I don't know, fucking jazz guitar, and as soon as I put it on, I was like, hold on, what are mini humbuckers like? Because I've had mini humbuckers before, and I didn't like them. In a Firebird, I didn't like them. And then in this guitar, they suddenly made perfect sense. It's like, oh, right, I can strum chords, but if I hit them really hard, it's distorted because they distort really easily with no gain. It's mental. Yeah, that's what was an extra 3 minutes added on stuff. Rock on. Catch you tomorrow.